Good evening. This regular meeting of the Socorro ISD Board of Trustees will come to order, please. The date is Wednesday, December 18th, 2024. The time is 6 o'clock, and we have a confirmed quorum. Thank you for joining us for this meeting, both in person and online via our YouTube stream. The full recording of the meeting will be available on YouTube and archived through the board website, where viewers have the option of watching the meeting with closed captions translated in multiple languages. Gracias por acompañarnos en esta reunión, tanto en persona como en línea, a través de nuestra transmisión de YouTube. La grabación completa de la reunión estará disponible en YouTube y será archivada a través del sitio web de la Junta, donde los espectadores tienen la opción de ver la reunión con subtítulos traducidos a varios idiomas. All right. Continuing with our agenda. One of our outstanding students from Mission Ridge Elementary School will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance tonight. Fifth grader Ian Chaires Marquez has already made a name for himself as an award-winning artist. In second grade, Ian's artwork won both first and second place in a district art show. Since then, his artistic talent has continued to thrive. In third grade, he was selected as one of the winners of Amazon's Hispanic Heritage Month Art Contest. This year, Ian achieved top honors in the SISD's Dia de los Muertos art competition. He also won Best in Show at Cricket's Hispanic Heritage Month Celebration Art Contest and received an honorable mention in EPCC's K-12 Annual Art Exhibition, where he competed with students from various school districts in El Paso. Tonight, Ian will be recognized for winning SISD's Winter Holiday Art Contest in the 3rd to 5th grade category. He is grateful to his teachers for helping him explore his passion for art and believes his artistic abilities have contributed to his academic success. Ian is excited to participate in the UIL Art Smart competition next spring. Although he feels sad that this is his final year at Mission Ridge, he looks forward to exploring new opportunities in athletics, band, and choir at Eastlake Middle School. He also plans to continue growing as an artist. Good luck, Ian. Please join myself and Ian in standing for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you, Ian. Look forward to your next art entries. All right, continuing with our agenda then. Mr. Vasquez, Superintendent's comments.
Good evening, President Nahara, members of the board, and members of the SISD community. And thank you all for being here this evening. We had a wonderful holiday open house this afternoon. Thank you to everybody who joined us today. Special thanks to the Lujan Chavez Elementary Choir, the Walter Clark Middle School Jazz Band, and the Socorro High School Folklorico Group for their outstanding performances. Let's give them a round of applause, please. Also, a big thank you to Santa and Mrs. Claus for posing for pictures this afternoon. Great job to all of the students who participated in the Holiday Bake-Off. We're going to be recognizing them during board honors, and I can tell you as a judge, it's incredibly difficult to judge. They all did an amazing job, so congratulations to them all. But I hope everybody did have a wonderful time at the open house. It was a great way to get started with the holidays. Kudos to the winners of the District Middle School Science Fair on December 7th at Socorro High School. Congratulations to those who are advancing to the regional fair. The excellent projects and great presentations really displayed the talent, research, and creativity that our students are harnessing. We appreciate the judges, teachers, parents, district, and campus staff for their part in helping our students succeed. Congratulations also to the elementary and middle school students who participated in Robocom 11 this past Saturday. This is another great competition for our students to show off their talents in robotics, science, and with team spirit. Thank you to our high school volunteers, academics team, and technology staff for helping make this such an awesome event for everyone. The awards ceremony will be held tomorrow at 6:30 at America's High School. And it's been a very busy and challenging first semester this school year, but I just want to thank everyone in Team SISD and in the SISD community for their hard work and for their commitment. I hope everyone has a great holiday season, a very enjoyable winter break. Please take some time to relax, enjoy the holidays with family and friends, and remember to stay safe whether you're staying home or traveling. But we look forward to seeing everybody in 2025. And this concludes my comments, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Vasquez. Continuing then, we have board honors. Mr. Escolar, please.
Good evening, President Nakara, members of the board, and Superintendent Mr. Vasquez. My name is Daniel Escobar, Chief Communications Officer for the district, and it is my pleasure to introduce tonight's recognitions. If I can please have you step down to receive our honorees. And to begin our recognitions, we'd like to thank again and invite our pledge student, Ian Chaides Marquez, back to the front to take a photo with our superintendent and board of trustees. Ian? He's going to come back up again for recognitions. Thank you again, Ian. You can get back in line for your next recognition. In this next recognition, we honor students who received top honors at the 2024 El Paso Community College K-12 Salute to the Arts Contest. 4 students from SISD proudly represented their schools and the district at the citywide event, which recognizes talented individuals for their artistic abilities. Congratulations to these outstanding students. From Escontria STEAM Academy, Sarah Arellanes, excuse me. Her teachers, Margarita Romo. From Hernando Middle School, Jaslene Varela. Her teachers, Sergio Lopez. And from America's High School, Abigail Cervantes. And teacher Samuel Munoz. If we can have you back to the front to take a photo, please, with our board and superintendent. And just a quick note as they're gathering for that photo that the portraits taken by our district photographer, Mr. Largo, are posted on the district website. The smiley face icon that you also see on the screen will take you to Smug Mug, and all of those photos are available for free high-resolution download. Keep smiling, straight ahead. Congratulations once again. Next, we recognize the 4 winners of the 2024 SISD Winter Holiday Art Contest. These talented students were chosen from more than 100 entries, all of which captured the joy of the holiday season in their drawings. Their artwork was featured in the Superintendent's Holiday Open House invitation, is on the district website, and across district social media. Additionally, the winning entries were professionally framed and turned into holiday postcards. Congratulations to the artists and their teachers. The winners are from Horizon Heights Elementary, Autumn Store. Her teacher is Bertha Alvarado. From Mission Ridge Elementary, Ian Chaires Marquez. From John Drugan School, Millicent Dyer. And the teacher is Laura Aragon. And from El Dorado High School, Alaya Daly. And teacher Virginia Castañeda.
Page 9, Brian Estrada.
If we can have you back to the front for a photo, please. And parents, you as well are welcome to come up and take your photos as well. Congratulations once again. They're not splayed physically. Yeah. Next, we honor the winners of the 2024 Superintendent's Holiday Bake-Off Challenge. These talented students enthusiastically competed as a dedicated team earlier this evening in the Superintendent's Holiday Open House, proudly representing their campus against 5 other impressive schools from across the district. The theme for this year's baking challenge was All In. The creative students skillfully incorporated the theme into the design of their beautifully crafted Christmas cake. Congratulations to the winners from Cactus Trails Elementary School. Ezra Isa. Jimena Ortiz. Ava Robinson. Alyssa Martinez. And their teacher and sponsor with the winning entry, Don Rico. Congratulations once again. Next, we were recognizing 2 championship volleyball teams from Socorro ISD. First, we recognize a high school volleyball team for capturing the 2024 UIL 25A district and a by-district championship. The team had an impressive season, finishing with an overall record of 39-5, along with a perfect district record of 12-0. Several players received individual honors, including 2-5A District Outstanding Hitter, 2-5A District MVP, and 2-5A Team All-District selections. Congratulations to these outstanding athletes from America's High School. Leila Ayala, Itzel de la Rosa, Savannah Echagaray, Nancy Jeffrey Lopez, Isabella Nunez, Karina Peña, Miliani Reza, Lexi Salas, Catherine Terrazas, Annalie Wilson, Zaina Winfield, Zoe Zuniga, and their head coach, Adam Lares. Congratulations once again. Next, we are honoring a high school volleyball team for winning the 2024 UIL 168 District, by district, and area championships, showcasing their dominance in the region. The team ranked in the top 10 of the TGCA volleyball poll for 10 consecutive weeks and finished the season among the state's top 10 teams. Additionally, they reached the Division I Region I regional semifinals for the first time in school's history. Congratulations to these exceptional athletes from Eastlake High School. Haley Sky Atillano, Cecilia Lulu Bustamante, Mia Carrasco, Addison Janelle Carrillo, Alyssa Vianney Cortinas, Jenna Micaela Gandara, Jalen Michelle Coley, Amarie Hope Rodarte Clemente, Caitlin Celeste Salgado, Victoria Serrano, Mia Marie Varela, Assistant Coach Joseph Testerman, Assistant Coach Stephanie Prieto, and they're led by Head Coach Roel Danda. Keep smiling, keep smiling. Congratulations once again. Next, we will be honoring two Team SISD championship football teams. First, we honor our high school football team for winning the 2024 UIL 15A District Varsity Football Championship. The team defeated Parkland High School 68-21 to earn the district championship. They completed the regular season undefeated, setting school records for the most offensive points scored in the city and the highest offensive points in the history of their school. Team members have earned several titles, including overall most valuable player, as well as defensive and offensive most valuable players and defensive and offensive athletes of the year. Additionally, this team's head coach was recognized as a District 15A Coach of the Year. Congratulations to the El Dorado High School varsity football team. Giovanni Alba, Josiah Andujo, Tristan Atiano, Armando Barraza, Bryson Booth, Jose Bustamante, Prince Card, Diego Carrasco, Evan Corral, Andrew Estrada, Ryan Estrada, Nicolás Figueroa, Quintes Floyd, Matthew Gallardo, Isaac Gutierrez, Elijah Isa, Nicolás Lopez, David Martinez, Adrian Moreno, Adrian Olivas, Marvin Pineda, Matthew Pinto, Anthony Pruitt, Tanner Reagan, Adrian Retana, Jadaria Saunders, Mika Silva, Corden Taylor, Gabriel Terrazas, Isaiah Thomas, Xavier Torres, assistant coaches Andrew Macias, Brent Hawkes, Norbert Gabaldon, Dominic Ramirez, Aram Pinto, Rudy Valdez, Isa Abderrahman, and they're led by head coach, coach of the year, Frank Martinez. good. Keep smiling, keep smiling. Congratulations once again, Aztecs. See. For our next recognition, we will recognize a high school football team for winning the 2024 UIL 16A District Varsity Football Championship. Absolutely. They secured the championship when defeating Coronado High School with a score of 42-28. The team's impressive season concluded with an overall record of 7-4 and a perfect 6-0 record in district play. Individual achievements include 2 players being awarded District 16A Most Valuable Player honors and 1 named District 16A Defensive Newcomer of the Year. Additionally, 14 players were selected for the all-district team. The team's head coach also was honored as the District 16A Coach of the Year. Congratulations to the Eastlake High School varsity football team. Alejandro Aguilar, Ryan Apodaca, Skylar Bliss, Santiago Carbona, Zeke Cisneros, Jose Cruz, Gael de la Cruz, Alex de la Garza, Emilio de la Rosa, Ángel Delgado, Diego Diarci, Julián Espinosa, Riley Estrada, Preston Figuero, Andrew Flanagan, Elijah Fuentes, Steven Galindo, Chris Garcia, Ronnie Garcia, Eduardo Gonzalez, Maiden Gonzalez, Marco Gonzalez, Santiago Hernandez, Josue Herrera, Derek Olguin, Diego Olguin, Adrian Lascano, Luke Lomelli, Brian Martinez, Matthew Meraz, Armando Morales, Fernando Morales, Chris Munoz, Jaden Muro, Jacob Negron, Isaac Nunez, Nicolás Peña, Landon Portillo, Angel Quiñones, Jorge Ramirez, Maximus Ramos, Zaid Rangel, Jordan Reveles, Isaac Reyes, Ethan Rivera, Moises Rivera, René Ruiseco, Damian Sainz, Brandon Salas, Jaden Sharp, Jamir Singlefield, Isaiah Solis, Dominic Soto, managers Junior Trotman, Kevin Valenzuela, Milton Velasquez, Damian Villalobos, assistant coaches JB France, Paolo Melendez, Adrian Herrera, Era Corbett, Francisco Sapien, Roger Enriquez, Jesus Melendez, Alfredo Olivo, Miguel Sadaña, Bo Avila, Jesus Espino, Sarah Palomares, Anthony Pina, and head coach of the year, Ruben Rodriguez. All right, if we can have you all back to the front for a photo, we'll make it work. Yeah. All right, everybody hold up your certificates. Look at Acavius. Don't look at mom and dad for a moment. Look at Acavius. Smile, smile. All right, keep smiling, keep smiling. Keep them up, keep them up, keep smiling. Yeah, you can look at mom and dad now. One more. All right. Congratulations once again, Falcons. Congratulations. Sorry, Case. Two more. We have two special presentations. We'll continue shortly. Good to go. We'll continue with our two special presentations. Our first special presentation honors a cross-guard monitor from Escondria STEAM Academy. This heroic individual performed the Heimlich maneuver on a second-grade student who was choking and in critical need of assistance. While in the school's cafeteria, the cross-guard and monitor noticed the student struggling to breathe while eating lunch. She quickly sprang into action, successfully performing the Heimlich maneuver and dislodging the food from the child's throat. Thanks to her courageous efforts, the student is doing well today. On behalf of all Team SISD, we would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to Blanca Garcia for her heroic actions. We can have you right here in the center. Thank you again, ma'am. And for tonight's final special presentation, we celebrated girls high school basketball coach from Socorro ISD for achieving her 500th career victory. With over 20 years of coaching experience, she reached this remarkable milestone when her team won the title game of the Horizon Tournament back in November. Now in her second season as a head coach at Eastlake High School, she continues to inspire her students to excel both on the basketball court and in their lives beyond the game. Congratulations to Coach Marlee Webb. Congratulations once again, Coach. Thank you. And that concludes our recognitions for this evening. Thank you.
All right, we'll continue with our agenda with open forum. Each person who signed up was provided a copy of the open forum basic rules and advised when they signed up that policy BED applies to the process. Please respect the process during your presentation. We'll proceed with open forum. Our first speaker is Mr. Philip Thomas Lane. Mr. Lane, before your time starts, sir, you did sign up for open forum and then 2 agenda items. We did discuss it. Typically, you get 5 minutes to split as you choose. It was your decision to take those 5 minutes now and speak to all 3 items now, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Board President Nahara, Superintendent Mr. Vasquez, and members of the board. My name is Philip Thomas Lane, and I retired from Team SISD back 7 years ago in 2017. And I want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, and a Happy New Year. During last month's board meeting, item 11A was posted to consider the approval of the audit report for the 2023-2024 school year. And even though you all always welcome public comment on agenda items, because there was no prior information made available to the public on that particular agenda item, there was no way that I could come and share any concerns or thoughts with you on that agenda item. So I'm going to be discussing some of those thoughts tonight along with items 7A and 7B from tonight's agenda. Now, of concern from that audit report from that month ago, dated June 30th, 2024, was the fund balance, showing a fund balance of only 33 days of cash on hand to meet expenditures. And in just the year from 2023 to 2024, that's a loss of 23 days of cash on hand. Projections that will be shown tonight during item 7B project that the fund balance at the end of this school year will only have 19 days of cash on hand to meet expenses. And that's down from 2016 when there was 111 days of cash on hand to meet expenses. I know the budget is very important, but to date, during this school year, I haven't seen any presentation regarding actual to budgeted revenue, expenses, or enrollment. I know you're probably going to look at that in earnest during the second semester. And if that information may be provided to the board through monthly reports, I ask that you do provide that information and have it reported to you during the board meeting, because there are so many community members like myself, employees and students' families, I think, who have a vested interest in that information. For tonight, I ask that the board give special consideration to item 7A. There's going to be a particular slide in that presentation that gives very detailed financial information regarding the 2017 bond. On that particular slide that I'm thinking of, we have columns A and B equaling column C. And while the grand totals equal up beautifully, not all of the individual rows from item A to B to C will equal. There's also disproportionate allocations of bond interest on that particular slide. For instance, the new building you just built across the street, the Support and Technology Building, had an original bond amount of $12.5 million, and that slide shows $2.5 million of bond interest allocated to that particular project. Yet your SAC 2 complex up the street, which came in a little bit under $66 million, only has a bond allocation of a little over $734,000, which is about 1%. So there's a huge difference in the bond allocation amounts. And when columns A plus B plus C don't equal up nicely, and when there are disproportionate amounts in just bond interest, there should be no reason when there might be some questions or doubt or mistrust from the community. There's no, I think, misunderstanding that the district finances are in a very tricky place, and some have maligned, say, the teacher groups for that issue. And I want everybody to know that it's not the teachers' groups, who are to blame for the budget concerns. It's their job to advocate for their members, and I think they do a wonderful job. Texas doesn't fund public education the way it has been, especially the last few years. I think charter schools get unfavorable tax treatment from the state government, and if vouchers get passed, and I'm afraid they are going to get passed, that's going to have a negative impact on the budget. What I would like just to share is, at the end of the day, what happens with the budget, well, that's the responsibility of the board. And I ask that during these next couple of months, you really pay attention to it, and that you really pay serious and urgent attention to the current fund balance. Because if actions aren't taken at the current rate, bankruptcy will occur. There's no question, it will occur. The numbers that I'm looking at that are being presented tonight would show that would happen about 2 years from tonight. There are some rumors floating around your employees that could happen as soon as spring semester. So your employees are very worried about the financial concerns of the district, and I don't want them to have to be worried about that during this time of year. The best advice, I could give to employees who are concerned is to understand the policies for reduction in force and to prepare yourself for that. I want to thank you all for that.
Thank you, Mr. Lane. Okay, our next speaker, Mr. Alfredo Agüero, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Alfredo Agüero, and I'm a community organizer, founder of Parent Support Group, Parents Empowering Parents in Special Education, PEPE, for its acronyms in Spanish. And I'm also Time Down Hub Coordinator in El Paso, Texas. I want to ask if it's possible to put the application to request the interpreter for these meetings on the agenda document and also on the Socorro School District website, so people can be able to request for an interpreter and to make it easy for everybody to access, since many things are difficult to find. I hope you all can help us with this matter. Also, the translation on the subtitles to Spanish on the YouTube application is very bad. This is only for your information. I came to say thanks again to Mr. Vasquez and the Parent Support Group, because we are ready to have our first special education workshop. It's for Thursday, January 16, 2025, from 10 to 11:45 a.m. and Options High School. The address is 12380 Pine Spring Drive, El Paso, Texas, 79928. We are going to have these workshops monthly. Mr. Vasquez, I want to remind you about the request to see if it's possible to include us, the support group, in the meeting that are being held about alternative programs for students with disciplinary problems. We made this request to Dr. Carmen Olivas Graham, Director of Administrative Services, and she said that she will let us know about this request. We're still waiting. Thank you in the name of Pepe, Padres Empoderando Padres en Educación Especial, and we look forward to work together for benefit of students. We've been asking to create a community oversight committee or a continuing advisory committee. Ain't going to be easy, but we think this can be possible. Together, we can build a more inclusive society. Juntos podremos construir una sociedad más inclusiva. Happy holidays to everybody. Thank you.
Mr. Vasquez, at the last board meeting, we were presented with a regulation for translation services. Can you see that it's available on the web?
Yes, we will. It should be on our website, but we'll make sure it's posted in a place that's readily available.
Thank you, sir. Okay. There were no further speakers for open forum, so we'll continue with district reports. 7A, facilities report.
Mr. President, administration is requesting that we postpone this item until next month.
Okay, sounds good. Mr. Ordonez, do we need a motion for that? There was no, okay. Sounds good. Continuing then with item 7B, strategic plan priority 4, operational transparency and equality. Mr. Solis.
Good evening, Board President Nájera, board members, Superintendent Vasquez, David Solis, Chief Financial Officer for the district. This evening, we will provide an update on strategic priority number 4 and our approach to the upcoming fiscal year. Our focus is on ensuring transparency and the equitable distribution of resources to meet our campus and district needs. A key element in this effort is strategic action 4.2B, which involves the development of a budget calendar. This calendar will help us align the upcoming budget with the district's and campus's needs, ensuring that we are meeting priorities effectively. I just want to emphasize that that budgeting is not a one-time activity. It is an ongoing cycle of planning, implementation, monitoring, and evaluation. These steps are conducted continuously throughout the year to ensure we are adapting to the changing needs. As you can see, we've already begun the budget planning process for the next fiscal year. Specifically, this year is an even number year, which means we are required to submit our biennial attendance projections to the Texas Education Agency, or TEA. In the upcoming months, we will focus on estimating revenues and staffing needs based on our projections, conducting program reviews, offering budget workshops, and legislative updates. As part of the workshops, we will also discuss our compensation and benefit plans to ensure all aspects of the budget align with district priorities. Our goal is to adopt the budget by June 30th. Afterward, we will shift our focus to the adoption of the tax rate, which is scheduled for September. Moving on to Strategic Action 4.C, which involves developing a plan to build the fund balance. As Dr. Hinojosa previously mentioned, achieving this will require dedication, courage, and the willingness to make some difficult decisions. Looking back at 2022, the fund balance stood at $116 million. From 2016 to 2022, the district reduced its fund balance by only 9.3%, or $12 million. However, since then, the fund balance has been reduced by nearly 57%, or $66 million, a reduction of more than 40 days of operating expenditure. According to board policy, we are required to maintain at least 75 days of unassigned fund balance. This chart shows our current fund balance along with the targeted balances needed to meet the policy requirements. To rebuild the fund balance to meet policy goals, we will need to save approximately 3% of our operating budget, which amounts to about $15 million each year for the next 5 years. Our focus on building a sustainable, transparent budget that aligns with district priorities is essential. The upcoming fiscal year will require careful planning, monitoring, and strategic decision-making to rebuild our fund balance and ensure financial stability for the district's future. I look forward to working together to meet these challenges. With that, I will take any questions.
Questions? Ms. Yos?
Yes, one thing that I see that on your budget planning calendar is you do have a board workshop assigned to us for every single month. I value that. Teach me a little bit more and teach all of us, what is it that you'll be bringing? How can we prepare and how can we get our community, our district to understand what we have to do to ensure that we are approving a balanced budget? What are those big items that we have to think of that are going to be difficult, that we all have to understand why we're doing them?
Sure. So in the upcoming months, you'll see that we'll be providing you with revenue projections, but that's going to involve also our enrollment projections, where we think we're going to be at in the upcoming year. Recently, we are a district in a state of declining enrollment. We are projecting that we are anticipating that we will lose another 700 to 800 students in the next couple of years. So that will impact our budget, meaning we will continue to decline as far as our revenues. We will present to you tax estimates, which also impact our revenues. Additionally, we will be prioritizing and reviewing all of our program needs and our staffing needs. So we'll be presenting to you the staffing needs for the upcoming fiscal year so that they align with the expenditures, all of our priority expenditures for the upcoming fiscal year, to ensure that we are presenting a balanced budget. As you can see where we are at in fund balance, we can no longer dip into fund balance anymore. We really have to live within our means for the upcoming future. And then it's not only living within our means, but it's also how do we plan to save so that we can rebuild fund balance to the levels that we previously had in 2022.
As we're declining enrollment, are you all looking at boundaries? How are we going to make sure that we're maximizing the use of our facilities that we currently have?
Sure. So as part of that discussion, we are looking at boundary reconfiguration to balance out the students at the various campuses. So that will be part of the discussion. I know that Daniel is working on that, so they'll be presenting that information to you all as well.
If I may, we've also put together a committee of principals both secondary and elementary principals. We just had our first meeting earlier in the week, and we're getting their input on some of these budgetary items just to ensure that our stakeholders are involved, and they have a say, and they provide information that will help us make better decisions.
Internally, we have amazing people that know our district and getting their input. I know that you're saying principals, but even central office. I mean, we have some of our, greatest of all times that have seen our district in ups and downs that would truly be able to give us insight.
Absolutely, and they've actually been part of the conversation from the beginning. We do have an amazing staff here. They're part of the reason why we're able to reduce that deficit over the summer from 42 million to 22 million. So that was due in large part to their guidance and information. So, but we want to continue to do that with principals as well. Thank you.
Those are my questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Hinojosa?
A couple of other things to consider. There will be a legislative session. The chairman of both House Public Ed and Senate Public Ed were in El Paso for the retreat of the Texas Urban Council, and both indicated that there's going to maybe some opportunities for some additional state revenue. Of course, there's also going to be some legislation about school vouchers, so that's a double-edged sword. Until they name the Speaker of the House, we don't know what's really going to happen. And until they name the Speaker of the House, we don't know who the chairman of the House Public Ed. So that's another thing to watch. There's this designation called emergency legislation. Legislation does not go into effect until September 1 unless the governor declares an emergency. So early in January, you need to be watching for the words that the governor issues on legislation. This will be another part of the puzzle. But right now they are talking about additional resources, but right now it's just talk. And if they do pass emergency legislation regarding the budget, that goes into effect immediately. But they do not want, if they do that, they don't want you to spend money on recurring costs. Those need to be for one-time expenditures that will help you through the spring. And then there is talk about some funding for next year, not across the board. It will be very selective about where they put that funding. And so we'll be monitoring all of that. The legislature adjourns at the end of May, and you have to adopt a budget by the end of June. So this is going to be, while we can have a lot of conversations, there are going to be multiple moving parts as we go down that path. In addition, you're on the mend, so that is commendable. And there's a lot of things you're going to be considering this spring: the spring rituals, staffing, accountability, the superintendent search. So there's a lot of things that are at stake in the next 6 months. But also, if things continue to go well, you probably need to consider 2 budgets. One including a tax ratification election, but until you prove to your community that you deserve that money, because they have to vote for that in the next November. So you almost have to adopt 2 different budgets, one with a tax voter-approved tax ratification election and one without. And so there are some really important decisions. You've already made many good steps, like getting your health insurance under control, like freezing positions, like things that you're exercising a lot of discipline now, but it's going to happen every month. Every month you're going to make decisions about how do we handle this going forward this spring. But I'm optimistic because of your behavior, and now with your opportunity to go out to the community with sometime in the spring with your governance and also with this budgeting, I think you'll hear a lot from the community, and you'll be able to gauge if they're going to support your initiatives. Mr. Kim, do you want to add anything else about what's coming in this budget? And so I'll be glad to entertain any questions if you have any. Mr. Kim?
I think the only thing is that, to your question about the board workshops, I think that there'll be a piecemeal as you go through, and I think Mr. Solis has it really well positioned out. This is a complicated situation because you have a lot of variables working through that. And I think just once again, starting out with your enrollment projection and your taxing position that Mr. Soley just mentioned, probably the basis from which you're going to have to, work from. And then some detailed work. If you recall last year, while we just started this late, we did the balance the budget game, if you recall, at a workshop. So we may want to bring that again as a fold to get you through that exercise once you learn all the assumptions leading into it, which last year we did that in a very, very one board meeting workshop, if you recall. So I think that's a way to get you acquainted with the budget to adopt, as Dr. Hinojosa mentioned, in June.
Mr. Solis, can we anticipate that we will see the two different budgets that Dr. Hinojosa suggested?
Yes, sir, you will definitely see the two presentations. If there is a process of going for the voter-approved tax ratification election, there is a process that I can present that to you during the next budget workshop so that you're aware of that, because it is a process. While it is taken to vote in November, there's some legwork that has to be done at least 6 months in advance. There is an efficiency audit that must be conducted several months in advance before that is placed on the November ballot.
Can we also anticipate, you mentioned that we would have to save about $15 million a year for the next 5 years, that we'll see throughout these budget workshops an action plan that presents the pathway to get there?
We will definitely present all options. 15 million is significant. It is significant. That's about 3% of our current budget. So we will present different options. The question is how quickly can we get there in a manner that doesn't affect students and also operations. So it is a balancing act, but we'll go ahead and work through that, and I'm excited to work with you all through that process.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Solis. And then Mr. Vasquez, can we continue with interventions to try and minimize enrollment decreases? And I mean, because there's two sides, right? It's reducing expenses, but at the same time trying to address that.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I'm happy to announce that last week, Dr. Graham and her team, they put together a team that did a call out I believe it was last Thursday. All morning they focused on elementary school students, those who have left our district within the last year or so. Made a bunch of calls. They made we heard some encouraging news from some parents who were ready to come back. Next month, I believe we're going to be focusing on middle and high schools. So that's an ongoing process. That's one of our strategies to rebuild our enrollment.
All right, thank you, Mr. Vasquez. Any further questions? Thank you, Mr. Solis.
Thank you.
Okay, continuing then, moving on to consent agenda. Hearing no items to pull, do I have a motion?
To approve.
Second.
I have a motion to approve made by Mrs. Nájera, seconded by Mr. Guerra. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item passes. New business, 9A, consider approval of individuals to fill the current vacancies on the SISD Foundation Board of Directors. I don't see her.
Good evening to the board president Nájera, interim superintendent Vasquez, and the rest of the board members. My name is Fancy Adams, and I am the vice president of the SISD Foundation for Excellence in Education Board. The SISD Foundation met on November 12th of 2024 and selected the following individuals to fill the current vacancies on the SISD Foundation Board of Directors. Veronica Bolanos will replace Susan Hill. Lily Gutierrez will replace Ray Gomez, and Kara Baker will replace Brenda Castañeda. We did provide their resumes and letters of interest in your packet that you received at the end of last week, and I'll accept any questions that you may have.
Questions?
I second.
Motion to approve made by Mr. Guerra, seconded by Ms. Gardea. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item passes. Congratulations to those three. Thank you, Ms. Adams.
Thank you.
9B, discussion and possible action regarding school district boundary interlocal agreement between Socorro and Isleta ISDs.
Good evening, President Nájera, members of the board, Superintendent Vasquez. I'm Alice Ramos, Chief Technology Officer. I'm presenting on behalf of Dr. Andrea Cruz, Assistant Superintendent for Administrative Services. Tonight, administration seeks your consideration and approval to execute an agreement between Isleta ISD and Socorro ISD. Based on the boundaries that were set forth by the El Paso Central Appraisal District and El Paso County. It's important to note that Isleta has already taken this item to their board last week, and it was approved by the Isleta board. The intent and the purpose of the agreement is to provide boundary clarity to the district and to families whose homes are divided. So if the property line crosses, if it's a split boundary, it's just to provide some clarity around that. And so an agreement has not been in place before, so this would be the first agreement in place to establish that interlocal. I'd be happy to entertain any questions you may have.
Ramos, so I think, I know this is something I've seen before. I believe we discussed it last year. And these specific properties that are in question, simply because when a house is, in these particular homes in question, the house was built. And the district boundary happens to run down the middle of the house, the middle of the property. And so I guess previously we just had maybe like a handshake agreement, nothing formal, where wherever the student was already attending, that was the district they would continue to attend rather than disrupt, you know, the student because of the maybe inconvenience to the boundary, right? So with this interlocal, this means it will now be formalized, it will be documented, and it's not a question that either the parents and the children who live in that home will have to consider anymore, right? Just formalizes it?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay, sounds good.
Charles, the only question I have, by doing a boundary, doing these boundaries, were we able to pick up any students?
At this time, it's a great question. At this time, we've identified 55 students that are impacted by the split boundaries, none of which we've been able to pick up, but the boundaries are remaining as is. The students will stay where they are now. But of course, both districts entertain the open enrollment process so that the student has the choice to make a decision whether to become a transfer student for us if they end up in this letter boundary, or to vice versa.
I have one question. So Ms. Ramos, does this mainly formalize property taxes? You know, who's going to receive the property taxes? Because you're exactly right. Open enrollment right now, students have a choice, but is it just to formalize who receives what money, which district?
I am so glad that you said that because Dr. Cruz left me some notes that I just disregarded.
Awesome.
So I'd like to read her notes if you would allow me. It just says, for students residing in split boundary residences, identification of a student's home district as a district that will receive the most revenue from the property. Revenue as the sole factor is to be used for the reasons identified below. The tax revenue assigned to each district is publicly available and easily found in the El Paso Central Appraisal District search system. The square footage assigned to each district is not. These are instances where a property has a higher square footage assigned to one district, but a higher tax revenue assigned to the other district due to the differences in homestead exemptions. These instances would leave us with the same uncertainty we have right now. The assigned tax revenue already takes into consideration the square footage assigned to each property, so that the data technically is still part of the decision. And the interlocal does not have any effect on revenue for either district, nor voting boundaries and attendance boundaries for elections. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. No other questions?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion to approve made by Mrs. Nájera, seconded by Ms. Gardea. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item passes. Thank you, Ms. Ramos. Discussion and possible action regarding non-objection of El Museo VIP. Dr. Graham.
Good evening, Mr. Nájera, Mr. Vasquez, and esteemed board members. This item is coming to you from Administrative Services on behalf of Dr. Cruz, and it is a request that we've had. This place had already been approved before under a different name. It doesn't seem to be affecting our schools at all. It would start 8 o'clock with the staff, but they don't start the business until 9 o'clock at night. So we are recommending approval, and you have the information in front of you. It would be called El Museo VIP, located on 1441 North Zaragoza. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to try and answer them.
Questions?
Our school near there, is that Myrtle Cooper?
Yes, ma'am. Myrtle Cooper.
Dr. Graham, I'm familiar with the area. There are several establishments in that area. As you said, most of them don't open until way after our schools are closed. And to my knowledge, we've never had.
I was going to ask, how are you familiar with it, sir?
There's a very good restaurant there. Mariscos Culiacán.
See, I knew you have an answer.
And so, lost my train of thought.
So the young lady that bought the business is waiting on approval from the district to actually open it. Because it was an established business before, so
Right.
it should not be a problem for our school.
I was going to end with, and to my knowledge, we've never had any problems with any of the businesses operating in that area with any of our schools.
No,
So
sir, we have never had
I don't
any
see why
reported problems.
we
to
would
my
not
knowledge.
consider this letter. So,
Motion to approve.
Second.
motion to approve made by Mrs. Macias, seconded by Mr. Guerra. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, item passes. Thank you, Dr. Graham.
Thank you very much.
Moving on, 9D, discussion and possible action to approve letter of support for minor boundary modifications, subzone expansion applicants to foreign trade zone 68 for the following properties listed on tonight's board agenda. Mr. Ordonez?
This letter, good evening, Daniel Ordonez. This matter is with regard to a letter to assist an entity in handling goods in transit and avoid certain inventory and personal property taxes. It does not negatively affect the Socorro Independent School District, and we recommend that it be approved.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion to approve made by Mrs. Nájera, seconded by Ms. Gardea. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Item passes. Thank you, Mr. Ordonez. All right. 10, executive session. The meeting is to be closed for discussion with legal counsel regarding potential sale of real property and options for sale of the following locations. Locations 1 through 5 listed on the board agenda. And to discuss personnel and real estate matters under Texas Government Code Sections 551.071, 551.072, and 551.074. The date is Wednesday, December 18th, 2024, and the time is 7:17 p.m.
Independent School District has more than 48,000 students in 51 campuses, but we're not just a number. Here, we're cared for, we're loved, we belong. Team SISD is a true Texas public school district that gives us unforgettable memories, traditions, experiences, and the opportunities we need to have a bright, successful future. Want to be a health professional? Once a bulldog, always a bulldog. Want to design skyscrapers? There's an empire for that. Have you heard the early bird gets the worm? Well, that's why they fear the falcons. We don't just rise. This is Sparta. We earn our horns and trailblaze and overcome to be the first and the best. I know. It sounds extra, but it's just our flex. For over 60 years, Socorro ISD has set its sights on our future with vision, innovation, investing, building, and planning to prepare us for the real world. These are our opportunities, and we will seize them.
So our dual language program consists of two different types of models. We have the 90-10, which is for pre-K students, and this is where the students are in a classroom with one teacher. Depending on their first language, they're gonna get 90% of the instruction in English, 10% in Spanish, or vice versa, 90% in Spanish, 10% in English. And then we have our 50-50 model, and this starts from kinder all the way to 5th grade, and this is where the students have two teachers where they're learning both languages, English and Spanish, 50 and 50% of the time, depending on the taught subject and language.
I can tell you it's full of excitement and engagement. Here the students get to create, they get to express themselves, and they have the opportunity to do it in both languages.
Porque han empezado desde chiquitos, entonces ya llevan mucho tiempo ellos en colaboración con los demás alumnos y sí se ve que entre ellos mismos se apoyan. Tenemos parejas que son nuestras parejas bilingües, que viene siendo la fortaleza en un idioma, ya sea en inglés o el español, y están con otra persona que es el opuesto. Entonces entre ellos mismos se apoyan, ya sea en el aula que viene siendo español o en el aula que viene siendo en inglés.
I'm proud to say that we have had great success. Right now, we currently have serve 4 campuses. Our students have been very successful. So the goal of the program is that the students become biliterate and bilingual. By the time they're in the program, they do achieve great academic level success. And of course, they stay in touch with their culture as well. Once the student completes 5 full years in the dual language program, then they can qualify for a Spanish high school credit.
Regardless if they're in the English classroom or the Spanish classroom, they have the same equal opportunities to practice all their domains, the speaking, the listening, the reading, writing.
Ellos colaboran mucho, son niños que siempre van a estar hablando, siempre van a estar participando. Cuando una persona entra a nuestro salón, nunca va a ser un salón que no se escucha nada, y creo que es lo que a ellos les gusta interactuar. Tenemos muchas manualidades, utilizan mucho sus manos y ellos pueden colaborar juntos, y es algo muy especial que hacen ellos, esa relación también con ellos mismos.
They start working with cognates and false cognates. No se dice así, se dice así. Oh, now I remember, I saw it with Miss Gonzalez. Oh, no, wait, I saw in first grade, Miss Castro told me that it was this. So they start coming, and you start seeing them coming together. It's amazing because they start connecting everything.
SISD is truly the district that offers many opportunities for our students. Dual language is not just opening doors for our students to become bilingual and biliterate, but it's opening doors for their future.
Socorro ISD makes learning innovative. We fly drones, we take center stage, we take care of the environment, and we learn to take care of our health and become lifelong learners. Our new elementary academies offer unique programs to inspire, challenge, and prepare us for success. Register now at SISD.net and seize your opportunity in Team SISD.
The Socorro Independent School District is committed to helping all students find their voice and achieve their highest potential. We understand the important role that families play in our children's education, and we welcome you, our military-connected families, to Team SISD. With 46 schools designated Purple Star campuses by the Texas Education Agency, the most of any school district in the El Paso region, Team SISD is committed to supporting the unique needs of military-connected students and their families through a variety of resources and services. These include a comprehensive website for military families, a campus transition program, multiple special events, military family life counselors, and a military liaison at each of our 51 campuses who all reach out and serve our military-connected families. Team SISD stays in close contact with our Fort Bliss counterparts to access and share information, ideas, and trainings to provide the best education for our 6,500 plus military-connected students. To assist with the social and emotional needs of our students, we maximize support services by engaging with our school counselors, including our military and family life counselor, and local agencies such as NAMI, the YWCA, Child Guidance Center, local daycare providers, and the Paso del Norte and Meadows Family Leadership Council. We value and greatly appreciate the sacrifice our military parents make for our country, our community, and our children. We salute you, and we are delighted to have the opportunity to serve you and your family in our district. Thank you for being part of our district and helping us ensure that Team SISD is the right choice for endless opportunities.
The mission of Current Technical Education is to collaborate with business industry and post-secondary education to provide programs that will build academic as well as career skills for our students, provide them an opportunity to earn an industry certification, and provide them leadership opportunities through career and technical education student organizations, and provide them opportunities to get exposure into the world of work prior to graduating, and with the hopes that they obtain a job that is better than minimum wage, and hopefully wage earning that they can support themselves or a family, as well as prepare them to go to college and successfully graduate from college.
The Architecture Academy is like a family that a lot of people you go to in a safe place to just learn about architecture. I've gotten to do a lot of things. We do models and sketches. We were able to do different competitions. I get to do floor plans, site plans. I really like landscape, and I think that's something I'm going to get into and study in the future. And we get to also do interior design.
Well, we have 45 different programs through CTE to support different career interests from all the 16 career clusters. We offer dual credit programs for them in many of our programs. We have started implementing pathways in technology early college high schools. We'll have 12 of them starting next year.
We like to study, the basics of firefighting, building construction, because firefighting isn't just, putting water on a fire and it goes out. Firefighting is way deeper into the aspect. There's foam, electrical stuff, equipment, fire trucks, there's different fire trucks. A lot of stuff that, the public doesn't know about. We're very hands-on too. Like everybody has their own gear here. We train a lot with the gear, our hoses. We learn how to use ladders. We were basically being taught what we need to know when we're going to the training academy.
I really do want to do this in the future. One of the competitions, we were able to go to a university, and I was able to experience the college life there, and I'm really looking forward to going to the University of Arizona. I want to study architecture and probably minor in landscaping, and I'm really excited to start my years there.
It's opened me up to many opportunities, really exploring who I am, going deeper into who I am. It opens many doors. I was able to bring the confidence out of myself, meet new classmates, and build bonds with them, and I loved every single bit about it.
I feel like it's a great opportunity because I was able to explore different sections in architecture and get to be able to network with real architects here in El Dorado High School. And I feel like it's an amazing opportunity because we're given the freedom to choose what pathway we want to study in and explore more.
Take the chance. We all live once. You're going to meet a lot of new friends. You're going to meet a lot of new people. You're going to build relationships with people, and ultimately, you're going to become a better person because of this program. And it's fun. It's fun. We're a very fun program.
El Paso parents, pre-K to 12th grade registration is now open for new and returning students. Team SISD's pre-K programs offer engaging hands-on learning for young students to build a solid foundation in their academic journey. Join our top academic academies, award-winning fine arts programs, championship athletics, and career and technical education with highly qualified teachers. Register at sisd.net/enrollment and seize your opportunity in Team SISD. Hello, and welcome to SISD TV News, where we deliver the latest news about the Socorro Independent School District. In today's segment, we'll take a look at this past spring semester's athletic and academic commitments. In our top story, Project Search celebrated the induction of its 6th cohort into the program. The program assists students with disabilities in their last year of high school to learn employability skills and transition from high school into the workforce. The students will participate in a year-long internship at the Hospitals of Providence East Campus.
The national average for individuals with disabilities, their employment is below 20%. And because of this program, we are employing, we've had several years where we have 100%. Our current cohort, we already have 4 students employed, and we're still working to get all of them employed.
Independence is a crazy thing. So once you give a student, any student, the ability to believe in themselves, the growth is miles. It's leaps and bounds. So our students come in shy and timid, but they leave here believing in their own ability. So they are able to voice their needs, their concerns, and can take that into the workforce and have a productive and wonderful life in society. And that's our goal.
I'm so excited to work in the hospital, and also I want to be independent, read books, and helping all people.
I could learn how to work, how to be independent, and earn my own money.
Five Socorro High School students in the Health Professions Academy signed their letters of intent to pursue their nursing career with Texas Tech University Health Science Center.
The program here does an amazing job. They were accepted because they were the cream of the crop. Not because they came from Socorro, not because they earned it. Okay, they knew what they wanted, and here they are, and here they finished, and we're looking forward to seeing them in fall for 2024.
I'm so happy. I'm relieved that the 4 years have passed, but I'm more excited to start like a new chapter in my life.
Six RAM students signed their letters of intent to continue their STEM and academic careers at universities across the state.
Well, not only are we known throughout the city of El Paso, but now we're recognized in the entire state of Texas. And so it's just these very determined students who are willing to do extra work, a ton of extra hours after school, weekends, even Sundays. And so the work never ends here on the team, and all of their efforts are finally being recognized now when they're graduating.
It's honestly unbelievable. I'm really grateful. It feels like all my hard work has paid off. In the end, just like I've learned that never give up. Just keep working towards your goals. Sometimes it does get hard, but like in the end, if you just keep trying, it'll eventually pay off. And so far, it has. So it's amazing.
Team SISD student athletes signed their letters of intent to play at the college level.
I've been thinking about this, been dreaming about this for about 16 years. Been working for it since I was able to walk, so it means a lot.
All the hard work coming from starting playing football at 4 years old, working till I'm 18 now. Every year, every day, every second that I put into football paid off very well.
Every day, countless hours. Every day in football practice, waking up 5 in the morning, it takes a lot, and then just going to every football game, all the hits, just going through all the games. It takes a lot to get to the end, and I'm finally here playing college football. It means the world to me.
I'm very excited. It's like a dream come true. I've been waiting so long to pick a college and sign, and I found one that was a perfect fit for me, and it had everything that I needed, and they wanted me just as bad as I wanted to go there.
Today's really special. I mean, just to showcase, my talent at the next level is truly a blessing. All my hard work that I put into this sport has truly paid off, so it's awesome.
It makes me feel really happy, and then I'm very thankful for my parents because they're the ones who pushed me to get to this level, and they never gave up on me, as well as all my coaches I had in my career.
I'm so excited. I can't believe this is coming like true. Just like dreaming about it, and it's almost time. It's pretty amazing.
I'm like super excited to be able to like actually sign because I never thought I was going to be able to make it, and it's always been a dream since I was a little girl.
I'm excited, and I guess I'm happy that I'm going to school. I'm making my parents proud.
It feels great. It's been a really long journey, and I'm very grateful for the opportunities given to me to play at the next level.
It definitely feels good. I'm most excited. This is probably one of the most best things I've felt in a while, and I'm ready to give it my all and pursue my dream.
But I'm extremely blessed to be here, to have the opportunity to continue playing, because like they had mentioned, only 7% of athletes play at the next level, and I'm just blessed to be able to be one of them.
Running is an individual sport. Whatever you put into it, you're going to get out of it. And obviously I put in a lot of hard work, which has helped me get to this point in my life where I'm going to be able to run at the D1 level.
To have this opportunity to sign, coming out from high school and like pursuing our dreams furthermore, and well, I can't wait what's next for us in the future.
Ever since I was little, I wanted to play the next level, play with bigger people, better people, so I'm excited for it.
I feel amazing. It's very bittersweet just because I am going to have to leave my family in the next couple months, but it's very rewarding for sure.
That's our show for today. I hope you've enjoyed learning about the latest in the Socorro Independent School District. Make sure to follow us on X with the handle @Socorro ISD. Be sure to friend us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Team SISD, and visit our website. Thank you again, and see you next time.
En el distrito de Socorro, aprender es innovador. Volamos drones, tomamos el centro de escenario, cuidamos nuestro medio ambiente y aprendemos a cuidar nuestra salud para ser mejores aprendices de por vida. Las academias de primaria de SISD ofrecen programas únicos para inspirarnos, desafiarnos y prepararnos para el éxito. Regístrate ahora y aprovecha tu oportunidad en el equipo SISD.
Welcome to our beautiful Sun City of El Paso, Texas. I'm Rosie Rodriguez, proud school counselor at Chester Jordan Elementary, home of the Lions. We currently serve 791 students, from our littlest Lions in pre-kinder to our extraordinary preteens in 5th grade. At Chester Jordan, we take pride in serving a diverse community with a large population of military and economically disadvantaged students. Because of this diverse community, we take great pride in providing a comprehensive school counseling program that is ASCA-based and data-driven to benefit all students' academics, college and career readiness, and social-emotional well-being. Simply put, taking care of the whole child. I now welcome you to Chester Jordan Elementary, where I show you what a comprehensive school counseling program has done to the positive culture of our campus. Welcome.
Ms. Rodriguez, when I started here at the leadership team, she was one of the first ones who kind of took me under her wing. And that just goes to show that she's not just about, a school counselor for students. She's a school counselor for everybody, for faculty, staff, the community. She's one of the most selfless people that I have ever come in contact with.
She is an amazing human being that truly is heart. She loves the students, the teachers, the staff. She shows it every day. I think first of all with her smile and her welcoming demeanor. She has such an amazing energy. People want to go to her.
One of my top priorities was to build relationships with students, teachers, staff, and parents to know how to best provide support. Staying visible through classroom lessons, making myself available, and providing opportunities to connect truly allowed for these relationships to flourish. And flourish they did. Providing support to students through classroom lessons, individual counseling, check-ins, small group counseling, and referrals to outside resources allowed for equitable access to opportunities that may have otherwise gone unserved. Bottom line, I want our campus to know I am here for them.
She's always in the forefront, ready to help out in any way that she can. You don't even have to ask her, and she's already ready and willing.
So there's a lot of
wonderful things about Ms. Rodriguez. She's a wonderful counselor. She's always helping us in small groups, in relationship problems, and everything, in every way possible.
In an effort to address
On the second property, during executive session, we discussed the property located at Block 2, Emerald Heights, number 5, Lot 1. And based on our discussion, the board can approve a motion to authorize the administration to initiate the process and procedure for sale of this property as discussed in closed session. Any final approval for sale will be made by the board at a future meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve made by Mrs. Nájera, seconded by Mr. Guerra. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item passes.
On the third property discussed during executive session, the property identified as vacant land off of Gateway East near MECHS 1, 2, and 3. And based on discussions, the board can approve a motion to authorize the administration to initiate the process and procedure for sale of this property as discussed in closed session. Any final approval for sale will be made by the board at a future meeting.
Second.
Motion to approve made by Mr. Guerra, seconded by Mrs. Nájera. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item passes. Okay. Next, sir.
On the fourth item, we discussed the property identified as various cottages identified as Sandy Creek Cottages. And based on our discussions, the board can approve a motion to authorize the administration to initiate the process and procedure for sale of the property as discussed in closed session. Any final approval for sale will be made by the board at a future meeting.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion to approve made by Mrs. Macias, seconded by Ms. Gardea. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item passes. Item number 5, sir.
The final item discussed during executive session, the property identified as various cottages identified in the East View cottages, and based on our discussions, the board can approve a motion to authorize the administration to initiate the process and procedure for sale of this property as discussed in closed session. Any final approval for sale will be made by the board at a future meeting.
Approve.
Second.
Motion to approve made by Mr. Guerra, seconded by Mrs. Nájera. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And the item passes. Thank you, Mr. Ordóñez. There being no further business before this board, we are adjourned at 7:42 p.m. on Wednesday, December 18th, 2024. Have a good night.